Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna take a quick look at our first two-handed Nikana that was introduced with update 24.4, the Tatsu. Now, first things first, you can get the blueprint for this build from the market. The blueprint itself will cost you 20,000 credits, and to build the weapon, you have to put an additional 5,000 credits, 2 argon crystals, 1200 kuva, and 100 oroxium and hespasm alloy. The Tatsu, as I mentioned already, is a 200 Nikana that requires at least Mastery rank 7 to use and does 96 damage per hit. The highest damage type here is Radiation at 31, followed by Slash at 27, Puncture at 23, and final Impact at only 15. The Tatsu is somewhat slow with an attack speed of only 1, it also has pretty low crit chance at only 11%, a below average crit multiplier at 1.9 times, but it does have a decent 23% status chance. And the weapon also comes with no innate polarities other than a V in the stance sword, which matches Wise Razor, which by the way can be farmed from the cool arachnoids that hang around the big exploiter orb, which usually faffs around the Temple of Profit in Orb Vallis. So if you want to farm this stance, go to the northwest part of Orb Vallis and follow the exploiter orb around, which periodically poops out these arachnoids. And finally, the Tatsu also comes with its own unique mechanic, which is unfortunately pretty underwhelming. The way this works is that whenever you kill something, you get a charge, and according to the wiki, you can actually store 2 of these. Then, if you do 2 charge attacks, one after another, so here is the first half of the charge attack, and here's the second half, you fire a projectile that will home onto enemies to some extent and do a little bit of damage while having a chance to proc status. And the problem here is that it just takes way too long for the amount of damage it does. This probably would have been a lot better with the old melee system, but with the new one where you can very easily and quickly switch between melee and firearms, there is really no reason to do this over just shooting the enemy with a gun. Now, the setup I ended up running on the Tatsu is a pretty straightforward 2 Forma status build where you add 2 Vs, and while I did play around with crit and I tried forcing it with Blood Rush, it felt like too much of an investment for not that much of a return, and on top of that, this build does more than enough damage to take you through the entire game and even do sorties for you. So the stance I'm using is Wise Razor, which is the only stance, though luckily it is pretty damn good. Then we have Primed Pressure Point for melee damage, Primed Fury for attack speed, Primed Reach, which really helps you cleave down groups of enemies, so that's very nice. We followed that up with Condition Overload for more melee damage as we proc status on the enemy, Drifting Contact for combo duration and status chance, Volcanic Edge for heat and status, and then Virulent Scourge and Voltaic Strike for corrosive and status. Now, as I've said already, the setup will easily take you through the entire star charge, and it doesn't really matter what kind of combo you use, because they're all pretty good. The pause combo, where you tap twice, then you pause, and then you tap 3 more times, is pretty strong. It has a massive multi-strike in the middle, so that one's pretty good, and will proc a lot of status for you, as well as doing a lot of damage. But even the button mash combo will do more than enough damage to absolutely trash everything you hit with it, as you can see over here. And finally, my favorite combo, which is the block combo, has a ton of mobility and a massive slam at the end. Though unfortunately this one is pretty awkward to use with the alternative melee mode, where you continue attacking with your fire button, because no matter what you do, if you have a firearm equipped, it will switch you to that firearm once you stop attacking. Though this has nothing to do with the melee weapon itself, it's just a change to the melee system that I'm not super happy about. So, is the Tatsu Weep Stick any good? Oh yes it is. I love this thing. I love the combos, I love the animation on the combos, as well as the idle animations. They look absolutely superb, and the damage isn't too shabby either. The only downside here, and this once again has nothing to do with the weapon itself, is that the weapon is actually easier to get than the only stance you can get for it, because the Wise Razor has about a 1% chance to drop from the arachnoid, so you can very easily just build the weapon and then have no stance for it. And I suppose the unique mechanic could be a little bit better, because once again the damage it does isn't really worth the time it takes to fire the projectile, so even if you're doing a low level mission where the projectile could actually kill something, it's just better to either shoot the enemy or straight up run up to them and smack them in the face. But all in all, I am going to give the Tatsu a thumbs up, because it's just a really fun melee weapon that does good damage with not too much of an investment, and it has a really cool moveset as well. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!